Okay, I mark the time at 7:42.
Cool. Brilliant. I think we're live.
Okay, let's begin.
Great. Well, hey guys.
Hello.
Hello.
So we are going to be having a little discussion and playing some Star Wars. I think the idea of this is for us to have some interesting conversations while playing some video games, specifically Battlefront 2, and we're going to see whether it's possible to push buttons and have a conversation at the same time. Just a little introductions. I am Rob. I am a computer programmer and a musician, and I like having conversations and getting involved in interesting creative projects. And I feel very happy to be here having an interesting chat with some good friends of mine.
Hey, I'm John. I'm a musician and a writer, and I do directing as well. And I'm really looking forward to our conversation on loot boxes. Yeah, hi.
Hello, I'm Reshma, and I'm just here for the fun. Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
Guess what?
Am I me?
I got very bad news.
what's up?
My voice isn't on the stream.
No, really?
You're joking?
No. Try exiting the lobby and re-entering it.
Yeah, I've tried that because I noticed it from a while ago when I first said hello. So I've been trying to go in and out, and
Right. Okay.
it's like
So
since John came in, I've said lots of things. I take it you couldn't hear me.
No. Um,
We could hear you.
could not. Well, I can hear you now, but
Right.
if it's not coming through on the stream, then
That's not good.
that's maybe
All right,
an issue.
I'm gonna have to do a restart as well. Then 1 moment.
Okay. No, I think you are coming through on the stream, Reshma. Whoop.
I got him.
Thank you.
Hello,
Adds a whole new
hello.
element to it. Oh, now your bodyguard's dead, Rob. I'm sorry.
I think we can hear your voice, Reshma. I think
No.
if John and I stop talking for a moment and you talk again.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
No, I'm not on the game.
Yes.
I can hear the game. No, you're
Okay.
hearing me from somewhere else because I've got the game in my ear and I'm not on the stream. Check it again because I've got the game on a completely separate device with earphones and I know I'm not heard. But it's okay. Let me leave and come back because I've worked out how to do it. It froze. It wasn't letting me in. 1 moment. Because I've worked out how to do it. 1 moment.
Seems to be working, but let's see.
How is the game so close, yet we haven't done shit, Rob? Like, this is amazing. We need to do this all the time. Like, how come we're like doing this well and we haven't hardly done anything?
My character's
Hello.
appreciative for
I'm
guns.
just checking my
Yeah.
Hi,
They have
let's see.
Daft more.
Yeah, I can hear you on the stream, Reshma. I've got a separate computer running the stream.
Okay, we'll just go with it. I can't hear myself, but that's okay. If you're saying you can hear it, then I trust you. I can't hear myself, but it's okay. If you're saying you can hear it, then I trust you.
Did you hear that?
Okay. Yes, I did.
Yeah, so I think it's working. Let's.
Okay.
You know what we
All right,
could do is that we. Yeah.
Okay. Let's start again. Let's just
Yeah.
do the intro
Okay.
and just go straight into it. Sorry about that.
Okay. All righty. So.
Carry on with the game. Don't start the game again.
Right. Okay. Okay. So, hey everybody, we are going to be having some interesting conversations and playing some Star Wars and seeing if we can do both at the same time. My name's Rob. I am a musician and programmer, and I like working on creative projects with these guys.
Hey, I'm John. I do creative projects with these guys as well. And yeah, really looking forward to playing this game and talking all sorts of yeah, stuff.
Hello, I'm Reshma. I've never watched the game before, so I'm going to watch this game and possibly ask some silly questions. So let's get to it.
Wait.
I'm sure your questions won't be silly. I have not got any kind of like psychic ability, but I'm sure they will not be silly.
I hope some of them will at least be silly, though. I was promised, I was promised silliness.
They won't be unpurposely silly.
Which is the best kind. Okay. All right. So I think let's let Rob, who I feel is the most seasoned gamer, to tell the viewers and listeners what the premise of the show today is.
Yeah, absolutely. So today we are going to be talking about loot boxes, which are sort of relevant to the game that we're playing because the game had a whole bunch of controversy associated with it when it comes to loot boxes. Yeah, so that's what we're going to be talking about today.
Cool.
Okay, so for all the people that don't know, including myself, what exactly is a loot box?
Was that to me or to John? Was that to me? Oh, oh no, I just got destroyed.
I think that was to me.
Before we go on, maybe you could just tell me what just happened. What did I miss?
So, I was talking and not concentrating, and suddenly there were three people around me, all swiping at me with laser swords, and it didn't end well for me.
It's all
Did you
good. I can
die?
answer the. Oh, he did,
Yes.
but he's back. This game has so much reincarnation. Like seriously, it's definitely you can be replenished.
But what happens?
Yeah.
What do you lose by dying and being replenished?
So at the top of of our screens, there's a score. So our team currently has 18 lives remaining, and theirs has 23. So it's about trying to get the other team down to 0, and whoever's left standing, their team wins.
Okay. So is it kind of like Providence that as I asked about loot boxes, I got you killed?
Yeah.
I asked that because I don't really know what a loot box is apart from a superficial understanding, and I'm imagining it's a kind of thing that could possibly buy you more lives. I might be wrong. So yeah, maybe John, you tell me
Yes.
what a loot box is while we kind of sort of save this extra life that Rob's been granted here.
Yeah, sure. So quick summary, like Battlefront is like a series of games where you're on a battlefield, and this one is like a Star Wars version of the game. In the you're say progressed in the game, you basically have the ability to get, or you could get when it was available, loot boxes. In a loot box, you can have like say a better weapon to help you like defeat an enemy, or you may even just like have a different skin in terms of like the stormtroopers who are a group of soldier. So that can obviously convey a certain amount of status as to how far you've got in the game. But yeah, loot boxes help you complete the game, and to get them, you had to spend a certain amount of money.
Okay, and that's real life money.
Real cash.
Okay, so does that mean you have to link like a card, plastic, to the game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Sure.
you say yeah, as if I was supposed to know. I didn't know you could link your real life bank account to a game. That sounds a bit. Sorry if it sound. This is the point where I might be saying something silly. That sounds.
No. I
Oh,
only just realized it. My tone was like, yeah, like I've never thought
like,
about it
yeah,
until
that's
now
a
either.
silly question. The type that I thought we weren't going to be asking.
Well, don't worry. I mean, I don't think you're alone in some of the realizations that will occur during this particular epic journey of slaughter.
Yes, I mean, I am sort of paying a bit more attention, and I see that you are slaughtering people, but oh, that's the really bad guy there. I know him.
Yeah. Are you
How can
talking
you
about
not
Darth
see there?
Vader?
Like, yeah, that's the guy.
I fell off the side.
Okay, so are you sharing lives or do you have individual lives? Maybe Rob, you could answer that one.
Yeah, so it's shared. So it's 4 players versus 4 players. I've got the scoreboard up at the moment. You can see that it's heroes and then villains, and so it's like each team of 4 players will start with I think 35 lives, and then like I said, it's a race to the yeah race to stay alive. But yeah, it's shared lives.
Okay, and so let's see. I think I don't
I was
know,
wondering,
but I think the
should
left.
I maybe add to John's definition of loot boxes a little bit?
Please.
Because I think they can be looked at several different sort of levels. So on the one hand, they're a way of kind of like getting stuff of players kind of like unlocking new content for the game. So you would you'd purchase the game, or maybe it might be a free to play game where there's no purchase, but you'll only get access to a certain amount of the content in the game. Whereas unlike traditional game purchasing where you would buy the whole game all in one go, this you would get part of it and then you would unlock the other parts. And this is kind of common in games. How loot boxes differ from this is that you don't necessarily know what you get when you're purchasing. So instead of purchasing a new character or a new level mode or a new outfit for your character, you would purchase this random loot box, and inside it will be 3 or 4 different things, but you have no idea what those things are. And so the fact that you're spending real world money on things you don't know what they are and you have absolutely no guarantee of whether they'll meet a certain quality or expectation can obviously be problematic.
Yeah. It's gambling.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I was going to say it sounds a bit like a scratch card, except
Yeah.
with a scratch card, there can be just. I've actually never purchased a scratch card, but I'm assuming you either win or you don't. Whereas with a loot box, surely there's always a win. It's just it could be of different values. No?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I think you're absolutely right. Like there is always a win, but that win might be of such little value that
Mm.
it's not really um, worth what it's what you've paid for it.
Yeah.
And so that can obviously be problematic because the company is in charge of the algorithm that dictates what you're going to be getting from that and how often you're actually going to be winning. And there is another industry where this sort of things happen, is the gambling industry. And in those industries, there are laws in place, and there were no laws in place for the games industry. So it took a little while for things to sort of catch up.
Yeah, I think in my research about this, it's maybe it's such an obvious thing, but I was surprised to learn how reactive legislation is towards these particular games, because obviously the industry of, computer games moves so fast, by its very nature, the governments that have to, legislate for all the simple or rather, sorry, not simple, but rather obvious need to make sure you can protect young people from gambling, it's going to be always in the back foot. So,
Yeah.
Yeah,
So I was engrossed in this point of the game. John, you're on the left of the screen, right?
that's right.
Okay, that person there just caught my attention. I was like, "Woo, Who's this?
This guy, wow. Kylo Ren he's a very complicated guy in that he is the son of, say, Han Solo and Leia Organa, who are good guys. And he has a sense of, say, betrayal from his uncle, Luke Skywalker. He doesn't believe that Luke was looking out for him, and he's been seduced to the dark side of the Force. And that's why he has a red lightsaber, and that's why he doesn't look particularly hospitable.
Oh, I see. Oh, I think he looks very cool though.
He is very cool. He's one of my favorite characters to use. He's quite an aggressive character, but it's quite easy to find yourself in a position where you think, right, I can really defeat lots of people, and you can put yourself in really difficult positions. Funnily enough, Rob and I normally have a defense, offense kind of like strategy that we begin the game with. But obviously, we've been chatting about this stuff, so we haven't really been playing it in that way.
Yeah. Okay. And then this horned red-faced guy does not look quite so attractive or cool. What's he about?
He's a bad
Rob,
guy.
sorry.
Yeah, his name is Darth Maul. He appeared in Star Wars Episode 1, the fourth film in the franchise. I actually don't know all of his backstory. I know that he came from this planet that gets talked about in the Clone Wars. I'm not all the way through the Clone Wars, which is a TV series based on Star Wars, an animated TV series. So I haven't quite. I think they go more into his backstory in that. He's supposed to be kind of a mysterious character. Although John may know more than me on this. Just before he does, say anything that he might know about the character, just to let you know what's happening now is that we only have 7 players, and so we're waiting for an 8th player to join the game, and then the next game will start. So just if anyone's wondering why we're sitting on this character selection screen for so long.
I actually thought
Good
you were
stuff.
hearing me.
No. We're waiting for the people to come in. It has to be said because it happened and no one's remarked on it. Maybe it wasn't noticed, but Rob actually came first on our team for the last game. So well done, Rob. Fireworks for you.
And how did I know that if I had been paying attention?
At basically the end of each game, like I can press this button here that shows you basically where everyone is score-wise. Right now we're all in 0 because the game hasn't started yet. To add to what Rob was saying about Darth Maul, he is basically a henchman to a very corrupt politician known as Palpatine, who is the main bad guy. In fact, here he is, Emperor Palpatine, also known as Darth Sidious. Each, yeah, each bad guy or bad person, because there are bad women in this as well, they go by, if they're part of a religious sect known as the Sith, they have a precursor to the name called Darth. So he is Darth Sidious. You know Darth Vader from pop culture, and you've just met say Darth Maul. Kylo Ren doesn't have a Darth, but he's just too cool for Darthism.
Well, I was going to ask. I just assumed he's only new to the religion, so he hasn't, been given a Darth yet.
Well, he comes at a time when the religion is kind of in a certain disarray, and there's like a whole new order of like bad guys that he's also, part of. I have to be very, very specific here regarding time. I think we have about just under 14 minutes, just so I'll let you guys know.
Yeah. I'm gonna need to
Okay.
leave in 10 minutes, unfortunately.
Okay.
I have somewhere that I need to get to. Shall we possibly exit and just find a new game because
Yes.
I'm not game.
Can we just do a test because I'm just I'm very interested that if you changed to good guys and left empty, you've already come out. I was going to say, if you've done
Ah.
good guys, I wondered if the fact that they need more, like two more villains, would entice people in.
Oh, it doesn't work like that, unfortunately. It's like it's a bit of a lottery. This seems to be the theme of today. But like when the game starts, you're just put onto a side, and like the algorithms will make sure, hopefully, that next time you're going to be like on the other side. Sometimes it doesn't work like that. But yeah, Rob, if you want to search for a game, but yeah, that would be answering your question, Reshma, I think.
Well, to add to that, I actually did try something a little sneaky like that, Reshma, which is that I exited the lobby because if there's only 3 players on each team, it can actually start the game. So my thinking was that if I exited, then maybe the game would start and I could rejoin. But that didn't help either. So because then when I tried to rejoin, it said that the server was full.
Okay. All right,
But
good
part
to
of
know.
the issue with this game is that it's a fantastic game, and I think we really enjoy it. But the company that makes it stopped supporting it, I think 2 years ago now. So the game has a number of fairly significant flaws remaining in it. Nothing like when it started, but it still does have some issues. And the matchmaking or the game's ability to pair players up into balanced teams is not great.
What do you mean by balanced themes?
So, if you've got a team that's
Oh,
Sorry,
teams. I
sorry.
thought you said themes. Sorry. I
Yeah,
understand what
yeah.
balanced teams are,
Themes
obviously,
would
from
be
staring at
super
the screen
interesting.
for
I
5
want to
minutes.
know what balanced themes are too. That's fascinating.
Okay.
Rob, just
So,
quickly. Oh,
no, go for it, John.
very quickly, Rob. I'm gonna go on defense. I'm doing crazy medic mode with Yoda, so I think go full Anakin. Sorry, Reshma, go ahead.
I was going to return to the theme of themes that you had said. It's very much a gambling theme, lottery, all the rest of it. We're talking about risks, and isn't this idea of taking risks kind of part of the whole thing with games? So this idea that it's actually gambling. I mean, do you agree with it? Because I mean, I'm against gambling, full stop, of any sort. You know, especially if you try to entice young people into gambling. Oh my God, this scene is scary. Sorry, what is that thing?
Which
I kind
which
of
thing?
I
There's
think that's
lots
a
of
general
crazy
grievous.
things. Oh, that guy. Yeah. I found a really good article, by the way, regarding the unambiguous links between people who started off playing games that had a gambling aspect to it and later addictions in life. So I can attach that to this if need be. What I remember from that, God, it's weird playing and talking about this stuff, is that essentially the legislation isn't uh, it's not basically looking out for the people as much as it could be because of the hard to categorize aspect of what loot boxes actually are about. Especially as well if you've got like the access to your phone whilst playing a game, it's very easy to access, and thus the addiction is harder to negate.
It's just like being in an arcade, surely.
I think with an
Well, the
arcade,
thing
you at
is,
least know
oh, go
what
on.
you're getting.
Yeah.
There's a transparency as to what you're getting, and if there isn't, like a gambling game, there are certain, there are laws about how often it has to pay out, and how open they need to be about it. And also, if you think about it, kids aren't generally let into an arcade that has gambling machines.
Mm. It's just not what you do unless you're a specifically bad parent, and it's just your way. Like, yeah, let's just give him more difficult, like chances, or let's make sure like our little girl has a hard start to life. Like, why?
That's a terrible
Well, yeah,
thing to be.
I'm kind of thinking
This is bad
about the.
parenting 101. It's like seriously.
I don't know why I think this, because I've never been in an arcade, especially, the ones on the coast. There's, coastlines in England are just filled with
Yeah,
arcades.
yeah.
And I imagine there's loads of children in there, unattended, but I've never gone in there to look. But am I wrong then?
Yeah, yeah, no, no, I think you're right. I think there are, but there aren't necessarily any machine that it would be classed as a gambling machine, i.e., like a slot machine, you
It's not
probably
allowed to
wouldn't
use.
find in a space like that because
Well,
there
I
are
would say
laws
that
about where they can
they
and
are
can't
in
be
the
put.
same they are in the same space, but they're in a different section of that space. And that
Right.
is clearly marked for adults. Like there's one called Las Vegas in Angel in Islington, and it's pretty much that same scenario. But obviously, you have very exclusive places where it's just slot machines, and there's an age limit, obviously, for you to play it. So,
Okay. Just now, John, your
yo,
little your Yoda went through a weird place. What was that? That, that,
um,
that.
can you? Oh, I'm now trapped in the floor. this, this is not good. I need now one of the guys to kill me so I can get out of here. Um, they're not going to see me. I'm
And
just
then
going to
press
press.
the
Yeah,
respawn
I'll
button.
come out. I'll respawn. But that was an interesting moment. Every now and again, there's a bug in the game where you basically get trapped in the floor. It's just
Yeah, like
really
I said,
irritating.
the game hasn't been supported or updated for the last 2 years. It's got a lot of problems.
Yeah. That being
It
said,
might, it
I
might be,
mean,
yeah, it might be interesting to talk about why it hasn't been supported.
yeah, I think so. Yeah. Good call.
That's
Which is
literally what I
that,
was about to ask. Thank you.
which is just that it basically like this game. So a lot of games use loot boxes, and um, it was or at least they did. It was a tendency that kind of, or a not a tendency, but like a fad that grew up over probably about 5 to 10 years, kind of peaked with the release of this game, where the game was I mean, it was described by a legislative, I mean, I think senator for Hawaii or something like that. It was designed. It was described as a themed casino, the Star Wars
Mm,
themed gambling machine. Basically, you couldn't do anything really with the game. The game was kind of worthless unless you spent huge amounts of money on loot boxes. And even if you spent huge amounts of money, you may not even then get the game. You may not
yeah.
get enough content. And it was so badly managed that new laws were actually put to try and kind of stop this kind of predatory behavior.
Yeah. I
And
mean, imagine the
and
fact if there's, sorry, go on, Bob.
no, no.
If there's like a character that you're using and you're hoping for that loot box to have something that is for that character, considering how many variables, how many characters there are, you may wait for a very long time. How much money would you have to go through in order to get what you want? It's just, it's kind of exploitative. But yeah,
So
sorry,
that
Rob,
they
if you want
took
to
these
continue.
mechanics out of the game, and now the game's actually really fun. But there's so much stigma. There was so much stigma for the company around that. After they fixed the game, they basically just stopped working on it, and um, don't seem to be making a sequel, which is unfortunate because it's actually a pretty fantastic game after all the improvements they made.
Mhm. We may want to be wrapping up here, guys.
Yeah. Well,
Okay, so
we're
I
losing.
think
We've only got 5 lives left, so we'll see how
It's
long they
very
last.
timely.
For.
yeah,
Sorry,
I'll
I
wait for you both
interrupted
to
you.
die, and I think I will. In the
Makama,
meantime, I'll
beloved.
tell you what I got from this, and then
Okay.
perhaps I don't know, like I don't know if I was supposed to get much from it, but I know what supposed to means. Let's say I wasn't expecting to get much from this, but I have gotten more than I expected. So it wasn't a high bar, but sorry.
I
But
I think that's a thank you.
Yeah. I feel like I've had
Yeah,
my
it's
suspicions confirmed that it's hard to play video games and talk at the same time.
It's amazing. I'm enjoying how much I'm not doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
okay. So you're dead.
Yes.
Oh, very much so. Yeah, yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's been nice to watch. The graphics are lovely. You know that said, I do feel like the maker of this game kind of. I feel like they played themselves. It was
Mm.
that was a pun, but
Yeah,
like,
that was good. That was good.
oh, thank you, thanks. Like, because they tried to be, they were greedy and they deserve. Sorry, maybe I shouldn't say this, but they deserve to have lost like they've lost a lot of their players. I'm glad it's fun for you too, though, now, and they've made improvements. But at the same time, I just think, if they were kind of trying to entrap young children into becoming sort of fully functional gamblers, that's awful. And I will look into this a bit more. I want to do some research on this now. So thank you both for sharing that with me.
That's okay. Thank you for being here. I think you're definitely right in that they did play themselves, and it's strange because there's such a huge online community for this game. That yeah, they did have a very warped beginning, but yeah, there's a huge subculture of people that still enjoy playing it as well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Cool. Well, yeah, thank you very much, Reshma, for talking to us. Thanks, John, for talking to us, and thanks, Star Wars, with us. And yeah, it's been really fun, guys.
It's been awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, take
Goodbye
care.
for
Take care.
now.
Bye.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.